Now, good afternoon, god eftermiddag from Egret Stadium here in Xiamen, China. We are here for the international press conference, both online and here in the room at the stadium, ahead of tomorrow's Wanda Diamond League here in Xiamen. And first of all, I will introduce the great hurdlers behind me here, of course. Masai Russell, Carl Tinch, Karsten Warholm, Alison dos Santos. Welcome, and we will come back to these great hurdlers pretty soon. And Cattell behind me will be the moderator. He's quite good at this stuff. Let me see. Yeah, and for tomorrow, we are more or less ready. We will have 14 Diamond League discipline, which of 5 wasn't held in the opening of the Wanda Diamond League back in Shanghai. So it will be an exciting day here at Xiamen Egret Stadium. We are the second leg of the Diamond League for this year. And we will have 14 qualification meetings before we meet up in Brussels for the final, the 4th and 5th of September. Just some practical for tomorrow. The first event starts at 5:15 with the 5,000 meter mix, and then we will have the first Diamond League discipline at 6:10. That's women's javelin throw. We will have an international broadcast from 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. The weather will be perfect, at least for these guys. It's sunny and a dry afternoon. It will be less than 30 degrees, a light wind from the south. So it will be a great conditions for athletics tomorrow. We have great lineups. We will meet some of the athletes now in 3 groups. And I will like to point out one special discipline, that's the 3,000 meter steeple, because we now will reveal the pace for tomorrow. And we will have a steady pace for a new world record at the 3,000 meter steeple. They have ordered a pace of 8:44, steady pace. And of course, we remember last Saturday, Faith Sherotic and Peret Shemutai fighted to the end. Shemutai first with 8:51.47 back in Shanghai, and now they are joined by Javi. So we have the top 3 ranked girls in the world in the 3,000 steeple, so watch out. But okay, I think we go to the real interesting stuff here now. So Cattell, take it away with these great hurdlers. And maybe you need a mic for that one.
Thank you, Rune. That was also fun, though. So they probably don't need much introduction, but I'll give them a quick one anyway. Masai Russell, reigning Olympic champion in the 100-meter hurdles, second fastest female hurdler in history. She's aiming for her 3rd Diamond League win this weekend, and of course started the Diamond League season with a bang last weekend. World-leading 12:25 win in Cachao. Cordell Tinch, he's the reigning world and Diamond League champion in the 110 hurdles. Victory here last year in 13:06, and we know he likes to run fast in China, because 12:87 in Cachao last year put him 4th on the world all-time list. Karsten Warholm, reigning Diamond League champion in the 4 hurdles, 3-time Diamond League champion, 3-time world champion, Tokyo Olympic champion, and of course the world record holder in the 300 and 400 hurdles. And finally, Alison dos Santos, the 2022 world champion in the 400 hurdles, world silver medalist last year, bronze in the last 2 Olympic finals, and a 2-time Diamond League champion. So Masai, we'll start with the athlete closest here. After the world final last year, I know it wasn't the result you wanted, but you posted on Instagram, "I'll be back." And it certainly looks like you've come back with a bang. Just wondering, what was your approach like as you kind of went into the off season and started building up towards 2026?
Yeah, going from last season, like you said, wasn't the result that I quite wanted, but you know, it's track, it's sports, and things don't always go the way that we want them to go, but you know, it's all about how you bounce back, and it's all about how you persevere to the future. So for me, I'm like, it doesn't end here. You know, we have some more fun to partake in and some more goals to hit. So I knew that going back into this year, I knew that I knew that I was one of the best hurdlers. So for me, I just had to maintain the mindset that I had, and yeah, I just wanted to continue to show the world who Masai is. And I don't want to leave anything on the table anymore. You know, I feel like last year coming off the Olympics, I kind of like, it's weird, I kind of like struggle with some doubt coming from being the Olympic champion and trying to prove to everybody else who I was rather than just operating in the realm of who I know that I am. So I think that now I know who I am, I know what I want to accomplish, I know where I'm going, and I know the things that I can do.
And after that amazing 12-17 last year, you said, I remember, it shows what you can do when you switch your brain off and just compete. In an event as complex as the 100 hurdles, is there a danger of overthinking it? And what have you found to be the best approach mentally going into a race?
Yeah, I think I struggled with a little bit of that last year too, like kind of being like afraid of hitting the hurdles because I had a history with hitting hurdles in the past, but I realized like I've embedded the right things into what I do every single day in practice. So going out there doubting and being fearful of the what if is not real. Like just as much as it could go wrong, just as much as it could go right. So for me, I just always think positive, and I've hurdled a million times, and the hurdles are the same distance. It's the same hurdles. It's just a different environment and doesn't change anything. So I think that, like I said, this year my mindset is just literally just doing the same things that I've done in practice. And yeah, I think we're starting to see or what we will see this year is just me running consistent fast times throughout the whole entire season and just continuing to build to that world record.
And training with Devon Charlton, we know how, obviously, a world record holder in the 60 hurdles. What has that brought to you?
Yeah, me and Devon have been training together for like probably 7 years at this point. And I think that when she broke the world record in 2024, kind of put the world on notice. And then when I ran 12:36 in 2023, I put the world on notice in the 100 hurdles. So we just have a really good training dynamic. Megan Tapper, formerly Tapper, Megan Simmons is also in our training group now. So we all just push each other. We all understand that we all have goals for ourselves, but at the end of the day, we're there to get each other better, stronger, faster. And Devon has an amazing 60, and I have an amazing 100 hurdles. So it works hand in hand for me to continue to work on my start and for her to work on her finish. So it definitely works hand in hand. And honestly, if it wasn't for them, I don't even know if I'll be running the times that I'm running because we line it up in practice every day.
I'm sure the feeling is mutual. Thank you very much. Cordell, a lot has happened in the last 12 months. You're now Diamond League champion, you're the world champion. Does it feel a little different when you go to the line this year, knowing that people are looking at you as the man to beat?
Not too much, honestly. I think coming into last year, especially like when we got here, I showed up to every meet believing that I was the best 110 hurdler at the line, regardless of who was in the race. So to finish out the season and go to Tokyo and get the gold medal and actually have the proof that you are the best in your event, I just got to carry that same mindset coming into this year.
And the two men beside you had a great race over 300-meter hurdles last weekend, and Karsten even mentioned maybe there might be a 200-meter hurdles at some point. Is that something that you'd be interested in?
Well, see, I told Bettina that I wanted to ask them a question, and I was going to ask them about
Go ahead.
They feel about that 200-meter hurdles and where I would be in that. Because I'm joining if it's 200. 300's a little too far for me. But 200, I'm there.
I think actually you're the only guy that has run the 200 hurdles, right?
Yes, and boy, we're waiting for you. Just find the race, put the money, we'll be there. Will be fun, it'll be amazing, but we got the best on that one.
Maybe we should put on like a team contest, you know, the 400-meter hurdlers versus the 110 hurdlers, and we do the average.
Well, I used to do the 400 hurdles, so maybe the three for
Just
me.
get your team, we get yours, and we just line up, boy. It'll be fun.
We're definitely ready for that.
We're good to go. You will have lactic coming off the 100 meters, huh?
No.
200 hurts more than the 300. Just trust what I'm saying. I'll run both. Just be prepared.
How many barriers are we going with?
It all depends. I think like to be fair, 10 would be nice. The same way that I did, because you can kind of keep the same way you're running, like the same leg. Because if you're gonna put like the 400, it's way easier for us. Like it's more space to run. You kind of can alternate legs as well. So we can find like a middle ground, make it fair.
We can let them choose.
Whatever you want, boy.
Okay.
Well, Runa, our meeting director, is here. Any chance we could make this happen in Xiamen next year? 12 months notice?
Did I hear we can choose it your way, or what was the...
They said we get to pick, so
you could choose. Is that the 10 or is it the 20? It's 10, huh?
I have to do my research.
It's 10? Didn't you know before you ask? I'm willing to put it on in Xiamen next May, if you guys agree. Next year.
Here.
1 year.
I'm committing to it. Yep.
Carsten?
You've seen the movie, Show Me the Quan.
Okay. We'll see next year.
Runa's going getting that one. So Cordell, second place last weekend, 13:10. As you look back at that race, what were the kind of things you took out of it that you might be able to put to use tomorrow?
So honestly, going into last week, there was a lot of question marks that I had about where I was physically, just because I had a lot of life going on. So to come out and run 13:10, a lot of people were like, you probably are a little upset you didn't win. I was like, I didn't expect to run that fast. So looking at it, there's a lot of things technically that I needed to be better in the back half, because normally that's the better part of my race. But I started well, I didn't finish well, so to run kind of a backwards race plan for me and be able to run 13:10 this early, I'm excited for what I can do tomorrow.
Excellent. Karsten, opened your season last weekend with 33:05. Very same time you ran here last year, which was a world best at the time, which you since broke. Just wondering, during the week, as you kind of look back at the race, what was your reflection on that performance?
Obviously, I wanted to win, but it was a tough race. I felt like I really picked it up in the last 100 meters there, and it was the first race of the season. It's always kicking the rest a little bit, but also it felt nice. I think it was a fast start to the season, just as last year. So I feel like I'm en route.
And back to the usual 400-meter hurdles this weekend. In terms of your preparation, I guess it's a complex event. There's a lot going on. In terms of your stride pattern and the way you've trained this year, is it similar to previous years, or has anything changed?
I think we always try to change it a little bit, but it's always tweaks now. I think we found our baseline of training, what works, but of course we always try to tweak it a little bit. And for me, always working on the stair thing, the last meters of the race is very important. So just trying to get stronger every year, and I'm not getting younger, so I need to push harder now.
Ed Moses won an Olympic medal at 33 and a world title at 32, so.
Yeah, but then they were running 47s.
Fair. You don't strike me as someone who ever struggles for motivation, but it's a very hard event to train for, and I'm just curious, when you're really going through those hard yards, does the Mr. Dos Santos or Mr. Benjamin, do they ever pop into your head to kind of add fuel to the fire?
Yeah, of course. I think Allison and also Rai and the other guys, they keep me on my toes. I know that there will never be an easy race, and of course this is also something you take with you during the winter time and the tough training, that you have people that also want to win. And I think this sports in general is super hard, because there's always someone that wants your position, so you gotta keep on training, unless you will be yesterday's news.
Not quite yet, Karsten. Alison.
Thank you.
Far from it. Alison, the 33:01 last weekend, and we saw you ran a 400-meter PB on the flat recently as well. Is speed something you have been putting a particular focus on this year?
Yeah. I think one thing that you need to remember is that I'm kind of young still. I'm still 25 years old, and my body was getting used to work faster. So to get to speed took me a while. Took me years to be able to do a speed workout, to actually call that a speed. And this season, we're being able to work there, to being healthy throughout the preparation, do the right speed workouts, and just get a little bit faster. You know, we know we can finish strong, but maybe we can also start a little bit faster. That would be fun to watch.
And what's your ambition tomorrow night?
I think, not I think, like just, I want to have a clean race, you know, just go out there, have fun, enjoy myself. First time in China, so just actually just experience everything. And I was gonna be the first time running the 400. I'm just trying to see where we at. The 300 gave like a good place. I know I can start a little faster than I was doing before and just, you know, try myself out. You know, got nothing to lose.
Awesome. And lots of people talking this week that the Brazilian team was named for the World Cup, which is obviously starting next month across North America, where you train. Are you going to try to get to a game? And do you think Brazil maybe can go all the way? It's been 24 years, which was a long time for Brazil.
They hope we're gonna be the last thing to die. I'm hopeful like we're gonna be able to make a good team. We're gonna play well. Neymar's on the team, so we're happy about it. And just trust us. We can win that one. We can win. We're gonna win. Just mark my words.
Norway will be there too, you know.
You know, come on, boy, come on. It's not Winter Olympics. You know, just like it's football.
Haaland versus Neymar. We look forward to it. We're going to open it up to the room. If anyone has questions for our athletes, just put up your hand and we can come find you with the microphone.
Shy audience.
Shy audience. We can keep going. I'll keep an eyes out. We'll ask a few more questions here. If anyone does have questions, just put up the hand and we'll come find you. Karsten, an extra question I had for you, and I'm sure you're maybe sick, maybe not sick of talking about that race in Tokyo, but a lot of people look to it as one of the masterpiece performances of the sport. Just wondering, when you reflect back on it, does the perfectionist in you find anything about it that can be improved?
There always is, right? And when I've looked back at many of my races, I always find things to improve, and I think very hard on that thing. And it goes slower. And I think the reason is that if you want to improve something, you also got to do the 99 other percents the same way, right? And this is the difficult part, because you need to replicate the same race and make sure it gets better. So I think for us, the plan has been to train yourself to a level where normal is enough. You know, you need to be able to do that performance, not on a regular, but you need to have it in you. And I think if you look back at that Tokyo race, everybody was really, really improving. I was running 7/10 faster than I ever did. Alison was doing the same, Rai was doing the same. It was a very special day, a very, very special occasion. And to beat it now, it takes probably, you know, a lot of the same things. But yeah, I'm really proud of that race. When I'm having a bad day, I look back at it, for sure. But I try to enjoy it more than being picky, honestly.
Understandably. Masai, you're obviously very close to the world record, the 500th of a second off it last year. It's May, so no one's going to expect miracles here or anything, but like, as you think about this season, is that 12:12 on your mind at all?
Yeah, I feel like it's come up, of course, a lot more after I ran 12:1 twice last year. And this year, opening the season with 12:40 and then coming here and running 12:25, everyone's like, when are you going to break the world record? Da, 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 da. So I'm like, I'm not a distance runner, and I can't, like, plan when I'm going to break the world record. I need to stop looking at the clock and just run through the line. But, yeah, you know, I know that I'm in the shape to do so. I feel stronger than ever, faster than ever. My mindset is in the best place it's ever been. So, you know, like I said, whenever it's meant to be, it'll be. I don't want to run 12:12. I want to go below that, because I don't want to set, like, tie the record. I want to break it. So, yeah, I'm excited. Just, you know, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be, and that's the mindset that I have. And I know with the women's hurdles and how competitive we are, it'll come out in one of these races, just with the level of talent the women's 100 hurdles brings.
Cordell, we saw you long jumping indoors. Was that just a bit of a fun experiment, or might we see you double at some championships in the future?
I think honestly it came from this being, you know, sort of a different type of year where there's no major championships at the end. The normal way of knowing that we as Americans got to be ready for USA championships or Olympic trials. So we're coming into it just to make sure I had fun and because I've always told those around me, once this starts to feel like a job, that's when I'm gonna be done. So it was just more of just go out there, have fun. But it definitely showed me that, you know, going to Olympic trials for LA, it definitely could be on the table to try to go in both long jump and the 110s if I'm able to, you know, do the things I want to do in the hurdles over the next year and a half, and then be able to have both of them on the table for myself.
Alison, I'm just curious as well about the influence you see in terms of athletics in Brazil. It's obviously a football nation. You've had many other great athletes as well. But since I guess you've risen to the top in one of the marquee events in the sport, how have you seen the popularity, I guess, grow within your country?
It is like really, really funny to me to just like, I'm living in Florida right now, I live in the US. So when I go back to Brazil, to my hometown, the way they receive me, like they're always like asking how my life is going, always curious about things, and just like, I kind of superstar, especially like in the area I grew up. And I love how like I could bring like some, how can I say, just like show them that even we came from South America, we still can produce something great. We don't have to be afraid of like the European athletes, the American athletes, like they have more support than us, nothing like that. Like we still can produce great things, can run fast, jump far, and do all those things. Like we're just another athlete, another country, you know. And to see them like just be excited that I'll be running the South American Championship is always good to me. Just understand that I need to keep like running, just improving and showing at the track, because like they look at me as someone they want to be here running Diamond Leagues, and that's like really important to me.
And finally, you've 2 Diamond League titles already, 2022 and 2024, 2 years apart. 2026, is that the plan for this year?
Of course. I love Diamond Leagues. I love the trophy, and I have a spot in my new house already that it's perfect for the new trophy. So that's what I'm looking for.
We wish you best of luck on the road to the final. Any questions from our audience before we? Yes, second row.
Thank you. I'm the journalist from Steve.com, and I have a question for Mr. Warholm. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to Xiamen.
Thank you.
I'm very wonder, what details about the event organization and sport impress you most because you're second here?
You need to take that again, I'm sorry.
What details about the event organization and sport impress you most?
Here in China, you mean?
In Xiamen.
Okay,
In Xiamen,
sorry. I'm a bit slow. It's on me. I think when I come here, what I really recognize is the stadiums. The stadiums here are amazing. You know, you have a warm-up track besides the main stadium. And I have to say also this year, the fans has been amazing. When we came from Kishao, there were very, very nice atmosphere in the stadium, and everything here is very, very nice. So I really enjoy my time here, and it's also a reason why I came back, because last year was a big success. So I'm very happy to be back. Thanks for having me.
Any further questions?
Olu with Flow Track. This question is from Masai. So we've seen your progress over the past couple of years. You've definitely been, each part of your races come together much more solidly. Could you speak a little bit to the technical aspects you've been changing that have helped you drop from 12:40 to 12:25 in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I knew running the 12:40 and 12:47 last week or 2 weeks ago at the Kentucky Invitational. That was really like my real opener, because I ran at Texas Relays, but it was cold, it was rainy, and the vibes just weren't there. I'm an energy person, so if the vibes are high, like, I'm gonna run fast. But when I ran 12:40 and 47 at Kentucky, not really against anybody, it was still a little chilly. I was like, all right, when I go to China, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be a good field, and I know that I'm ready to run fast. So there wasn't really anything that I changed from 2 weeks ago to last week, and there's nothing that I changed from last week to now. It's really just continuing to do the same thing, and I think that that's one of my biggest strengths that I have picked up this year, is just like consistency. When you guys would see me run fast times, it would be like, all right, I hit a fast time, then it's like okay, then it's fast, and it's not. Then it's like kind of in the middle. But for me, I think now I'm doing the same thing consistently, and I think that consistency is really important because it's like now I'm hitting one punch 1,000 times, not 1,000 punches one time, and I think that that's my biggest superpower that I've attained this year for sure.
We have time maybe for one last question if anyone wants to ask it. Going, gone. And I think we can, one more question.
Yeah, we had one more question for Mr. Tinch. Is your fourth year here, and have you seen any changes in Xiamen over the past 4 years?
I mean, coming here, you see how the meet's been growing more and more of, how the fans are, how it's run. I think that coming here and seeing, just the organization getting better and better each year, it seems like things go smoother. So for this to be my first experience on the Diamond League back in 2023 and to be here now in 2026 and see how it's been changing, it's been fantastic, which is why I've always come back each year.
Excellent. Well, we can wrap things up there. Big thanks to Masai, to Cordell, to Karsten, and to Alison. We wish you the best of luck tomorrow and for the season ahead. To roll for section 2 of our International Athletes Press Conference. 4 superstars here beside me. Ryan Krauser, closest to me, 3-time Olympic champion in the men's shot put, 3-time world champion. He's recorded 16 Diamond League wins in total, and of course he has the world record at 23:56. Beside him, Mattia Ferlani of Italy, the reigning world champion in the long jump, Olympic bronze medalist in Paris, and of course won in Qichao in the Diamond League last weekend with a personal best of 8:43. Beside him, from the US, Valerie Sion, reigning Olympic and world champion in the discus. She's won the last 5 Diamond League titles, personal best of 73:52, which was the longest throw in 36 years. And finally, from Jamaica, Sharika Jackson, 3-time Diamond League champion, 2-time world champion over 200 meters. She's 2 Olympic medals as an individual, 3 in the relay, and of course, the second fastest woman in history over 200 meters. I'll start though with the man beside me, Ryan. It's great to see you back. It's been, I think, 8 months since we last saw you in a competition in Tokyo when you won the world title. So a lot to catch up on. How's life been? How's training? How's the health?
Yeah, it's been good. Some life changes this year. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee. So my wife's doing a medical residency there, and so my career is a little bit of a backseat right now. But it's been good. Started a training group, continuing to coach Roger Stona, and added Peyton Otterdahl and Nick Ponzio as well. So it's been busy on that front. Training's been hit and miss. Some really good indicators. Some things that are slow to come together. Very rarely does training go perfectly according to schedule. So the pieces are there. Now it's more of a matter of putting them together.
And lots of people always wondering, I suppose, about your throwing arm and that elbow issue. How have things been with that?
Yeah, it's been up and down. It's unfortunately not just a linear healing progression. So still working around that, trying to get it all the way healthy and gain my confidence back has been what has been the last part to come. So the pieces are there, just have to put them together.
And I think, you know, you rarely go in as an underdog, but coming out fresh, I suppose, first competition in Tokyo last year, how hard was that mentally to get yourself straight out the blocks in the mind frame to go and win a world title?
Yeah, last year was a challenge. I mean, you never want to open your season at a world championship. Things are not going according to plan if that's happening. So it was a challenge. I was very proud of myself the way that I was able to execute, considering I had minimal training, no hard throws going in. It would be not easy, but it would have been easier had I been healthy and training was good and I was confident going in. Training was going extremely bad. I was not healthy, but still managed to win, which is all you can hope to do at a major championship like that. And so trying to lay the foundation right now, get all the way healthy, get my confidence back as preparing for 2027 and most importantly for 2028.
And it's a very strong field here tomorrow night, the likes of Tom Walsh, Leonardo, some very strong US throwers too. What's your hope for the competition?
Yeah, so I just want to go out there and execute my technical cues. Yeah, extremely talented field. We've got just about everybody in the whole world here. And so, yeah, I'm focusing on what I can control. I imagine we'll see some far throws. The humidity, the warm weather helps us big guys just be a little bit more loose. So being in my 30s, I appreciate that. Throwing in the cold kind of sucks. I did that all winter. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's been good just seeing the guys again. I mean, we have a close-knit friend group. We were playing some golf in the hallways at the hotel before I came over. So me and Tripp beat Walsh. So at least I won a couple putting competitions.
One win on the board already.
Exactly.
A random final question. We know for shot putters, you're big guys, you do a lot of training, but the training doesn't stop once you leave the throwing circle. In terms of fueling, could you just give us an idea of how you, I guess, fuel on a day-to-day basis? And I guess what your daily intake looks like in terms of an average day back home?
Yeah, so I actually did a YouTube video on this pretty recently, and I got a Fitbit for the video, and my caloric intake on my high-intensity training days is right around 7,200, or calorie expenditure, I should say. So burning 7,200 calories on my high training day, 5,000 on my low. And so my caloric intake is right around the mid-sixes right now. And so it's a lot of chicken and a lot of rice. It's unfortunately not very exciting. Trying to get 6,000 calories and 400 grams of protein. It can sound fun to do, but you still got to train 6 hours. So if you go down to McDonald's and get a bunch of cheeseburgers, you're going to hit your caloric goals, but you're not going to train well. So since I've been over here, it's been a lot of chicken, been a lot of rice. Same thing I'm eating at home.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Mattia, you got your first Diamond League win last weekend, season opener, and a personal best. Is it another sign that you've reached a new level, I guess, in 2026?
Hello to everyone. Yeah, the goal is that. So I worked so much a lot in these years and these months to win some data. So I'm so happy when to start this season, and yeah, I'm going to keep for more in the next race.
And you were 2 years old, I think, when Andrew Howe set the Italian long jump record back in 2007 it was. You're obviously only a few centimeters away from it. Is that on your mind tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe every time I have a goal for doing a motivation for try to keep the best of myself in the track. So this is one of it, and yeah, the goal is reached that year.
Not many people win Olympic medals while they're still teenagers. You did it, and obviously last year you added the world title. That must be a little bit overwhelming at times, I imagine, but how have you kind of juggled that life of just being so well known in your home country, but also having to be professional about preparing for competitions?
Yeah, I mean, the vision after that incredible medal is totally changed from everything, from the people, the fans, what I can do in my country. So I'm so happy because it's like a dream. So I live in now after this goal. So I'm so happy, and for me it's so much motivation for doing this.
And you're obviously only 21, so I guess you're naturally improving year on year. But as you look towards breaking down that jump and your performance, what are the areas you're kind of focusing on to find those extra centimeters?
Yeah, maybe I think I can work too much so in the takeoff. I think the takeoff is one of the most works I can do for now, and I need a little bit of technical preparation, like a minute more speed and more force for improving my jump. So this is the goals, and now we want to work.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Valerie, we saw that 73-meter throw again in Ramona last month, and as you make your way back to the Diamond League stage, is it safe to say that things are going pretty well?
Things are going good. Yeah, I have to admit, 2026, it feels like the first time I've been able to take a really deep breath. You know, I think the last 5 years, I really had big goals and big expectations, and it's been nice to get married this spring and just take some time to kind of reset, knowing that the next 3 years are really a priority. So I think things are going really good. I think when you go to Ramona, everyone expects to throw really far. And I got a little caught up in that. I think I feel like I left a little bit of distance there, but it was good to get back home, put some really good work in these last 5 weeks, and be excited to now attack these upcoming Diamond League meetings.
And you've won, of course, at the Xiamen Diamond League the last 2 years. How was that experience both times?
I love the Xiamen meeting. It is truly one of my favorite on the circuit. I love the stadium, the energy. So when I saw that our discipline was going to be here, it was really exciting, especially because the mall has the best claw machines in the entire world. I really think that is critical for my process. So I'm super excited to be back. I absolutely love coming to China.
And of course, congratulations on getting married earlier this year. New name as well, Almond to Sion. Wondering, what's more stressful, planning a wedding or preparing for an Olympic final?
Ooh. Both were incredibly stressful, I will say. Very different types of stress. I absolutely loved getting married, and I also loved competing. So I think that the Olympics prepared me for the wedding. I'm sure most of the time it does not work that way, but it was fantastic. I had the best time marrying Zebulon, and it feels really exciting to compete with a new last name. I think that's something that I've thought about a lot, is trying to make the Sion name have more of an impact than Almond's had, and being able to try to beat my past self is a fun little game.
And you've obviously won everything there is to win in the sport, but like at this stage of your career, how do you go about finding those kind of incremental improvements? Or is it kind of almost a case of maintain that run and that winning streak you've been on?
Yeah, you know, motivation, I think it has to change over time. And I most certainly don't think I was born to be a discus thrower. I was been built to be one. So being able to kind of find those new things that really can help you want to be at your best is exciting. I think I still have more to show and more to prove, and I feel really excited about continuing to do that. It's incredible to see in the discus, just at this event, there's now 5 Americans. You know, when I first got onto the scene, I feel like I was the lone girl, you know, from the US, and now to see kind of the momentum that's come across so many young throwers now making onto the stage is exciting. So I want to continue to be at my best and continue to kind of push that ceiling while I'm in good health and motivated.
Awesome. And you're going for your 6th Diamond League title in a row this year. I think Mondo Duplantis is also trying to do similar. Is that something that motivates you as you look along the season?
Yeah, it is. I never imagined that I'd be have the ability to be pushing to be one of the people to have the most amount of trophies, you know, in the history of the Diamond League. So it is really exciting. And I mean, our approach is to take it 1 meet at a time and build to the final. So I'm excited to get back to Brussels. I love French fries. That's also really motivating. So I can't wait and hope to be in great shape and put up great results that will maybe lead to some more sparkles.
We wish you the best of luck on that road to the final. Sharika, amazing win last weekend, 22:07 to win in Kichao. As you were kind of reflected on that race during the week, what did you take out of it and what might you be trying to apply this weekend?
For me, it's just to have some fun. I think last week I executed very well to run a season best. I think that's my fastest opener since 2023. So I felt good to be out there competing healthy.
And we saw you run your old friend the 400 a couple times early in the season. Was that just a bit of early season over distance work, or might we eventually see you hop in one in a more serious way, I guess?
I don't think this season you'll see me in any 400 meter. Again, I think we wanted to get some strength done. It's been, I think, since I stopped doing the 400 where I competed competitively. So I just wanted to do some strength work before I started sprinting. I think last year was to be patient with myself. I wasn't patient enough last year, but this year is off year, so I just want to have some fun. The 400 was good. I wanted to run a 51, but it didn't happen, but I definitely know probably next year we revisit the 400 meter.
And I know you said last year, like the tough time you had in 2024, that it kind of pushed you, close to that point of quitting. I'm sure many athletes in that position might have quit, understandably. What was it, though, that brought you back and has got you back to this level, winning Diamond Leagues again?
I just think my circle kept me grounded. I don't think I've thought about giving up a little bit though, but as I went to my therapist's office and I sat down and we had multiple conversations. My coaches was there for me, my management staff, and not to mention my friends and family. And I think that kept me going. I know what I wanted. I have not achieved what I wanted. So I think that was a motivation despite 2024. So I think that's something that kept me motivated. I wanted more for myself. I'm not satisfied with 21:41. So I think that's something that kept me going, and I know I've not reached my full potential just yet. So I think that's something that kept me going, and I'm just excited to be here.
And I know no one ever wants to go through injury struggles, but I guess having come through them and now that you're back on the track, running healthy, running fast, does it give you a new appreciation for, I guess, that simple act?
Yes, I think when we go through getting hurt, a lot of persons think it's just physical, but for me, it was more mental. I struggle with how do I bounce back from getting hurt that bad? And will I get hurt again? A lot of things linger in your mind. I think that last year getting hurt in 2024 played a lot on my mind. As soon as I compete a rep and I feel a little tightness, I was like, oh, am I going backwards? But I think you have to have persons who believe in you, your therapist. And I think I went there where I got myself mentally strong, because it's all about mental for me. And last year, as I said, I rushed myself a little bit because I wanted to really defend my title in the 200, but that didn't happen. But as I say, it was a pat on the shoulder, and this year we focus on not rushing the season. I didn't do any indoor, even though I wanted to run some 60s, but we were being patient because I think after the 200 at World Championship, I could not participate any longer because we didn't want to risk how, I think I got a little niggle and we didn't want to risk that in the final. So I think it's just for me to continue to be on the mental aspect where I am and just to stay injury-free.
Awesome. And tomorrow night's race, it's an amazing field, a lot of champions in there, a lot of medalists. What's your ambition going into it?
Just to execute properly. I think last week I did a pretty good job. I love competing with fast girls, and all of them is fast. So it's something that we look forward to, a very competitive field. As I said, I executed last week properly, but I think there's a little bit tweak to what I want to do tomorrow. So it's just to go out there and execute again properly, or even better than I did at the last meet, and I'll run pretty good.
Understatement. Thank you, Sharika. Any questions from our floor? Yep.
This question's for Valerie. We saw that back in Ramona, you guys actually threw for 2 meets, kind of like a doubleheader. And on Instagram, it stated that you made some mental changes from the first one to bounce back and come back and perform with your second best throw of ever in your lifetime. So, what were those mental changes, and what are you taking from there into this next meet?
Yeah, I really sucked that first meet. It was honestly quite humbling. I think the longer you're in the game, the mental aspect is always the hardest piece. And I think I just lost healthy expectations for myself. I went in, I tried too hard, I didn't have rhythm, and it really just, it didn't feel like myself, When I'm at my best, I'm grounded, I'm technical, I'm really in tune with my cues, and I felt like at that first meeting, I kind of just was trying to shoot for the stars, grab some extra of that Ramona magic. And it was a really good reset, I feel like, going into the rest of the season. So it was nice to be able to have another competition just a couple days later and be able to execute properly, and I think that it was a really great reminder of kind of just the season, the recipe that works, It is taking it one training session at a time, one meet at a time, and just really staying intentional about the things that we're trying to work on.
Any further questions? I'll give you a chance to think of one. I'll ask another one in the meantime. Ryan, not many athletes turn to coaching while they're still in the thick of their career, competing at the top end. I guess, what do you get out of that process? Because it does, and is that something you would like to pursue on a full-time basis, I guess, when you're finished throwing yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been coaching Roger since like 2023, so it's been a little while now. But I think for me, it's been a combination of I do enjoy coaching, but also it's, as a professional athlete, I think it's important to have training partners as well. So it's been a way for me to have a training partner, in the sense that for multiple years I was just training by myself, and which is very difficult to do, and so it's helped to have training partners. And I do like coaching. I don't see myself going into a full-time pure coaching. I would like to give back to the sport, still work with athletes, and I mean, track and field is a beautiful sport in that we are the purest athletic endeavor, and the foundation of running, jumping, throwing. All other sports use some component of track and field in it, and I think that is where I see myself, if I do go into coaching, the role that I would have the most enjoyment and also benefit is taking what I've learned as an athlete and applying it to other sports, because we are the foundation of all sports, and so I feel like that's where I would see myself, almost as more of a performance consultant. And the rotational aspect that you have in throwing is pretty particular compared to a lot of other sports, but there are components that I think are severely misunderstood as they apply to golf, baseball, tennis. Rotational sports are very misunderstood, so I think that's where I could have an impact.
And would it be fair to say you're more analytical than most throwers in terms of the level of detail and the way you break down, I guess, the physics of the event?
Yeah, I believe probably so. I mean, being self-coached, there's always going to be an emotional component, but it's how do you manage that? Because you have to be accountable with yourself. If your numbers aren't great, or even if you feel like things are good, there's a soft skills component, but the more data I can have, I get better. I can make better decisions, and I can evaluate where I'm at much more efficiently. And yeah, it can be frustrating at times because you feel like you're putting in the work. You are putting in the work, but bar speed or the distance you're throwing is not what you think it should be. And so those are the frustrating, difficult conversations you have to have with yourself.
Thank you. Any further questions from the crowd? Yes, from FlowTrack.
I will gladly ask all the questions. It's not a problem for me. This one's from Mattia. So you actually have experience, winning medals at the under 20 and under 18 level, both in the high jump and the long jump. I don't know if everybody here knows that, which is incredibly impressive. So as a jumper myself, I would like to know, what was the decision to drop the high jump or maybe deprioritize the high jump and focus on the long jump?
Yeah, maybe the talent and the music too. So yeah, with my team, we just looking for how can improve more than high jump. So I see I have more talent, and I think more space in the long jump, maybe in than the high jump. So we decide with the team, but it's our choice because I'm starting with high jump and I left so love, and yeah, just I decided to introduce this road. But I think we do a beautiful work.
I have time for a few more questions if anyone else would like to jump in. Yep, second row. I think, no? The gentleman in the black shirt, no? Okay. Well, if there's no further questions from the audience, I think we can round it up there. To Ryan, to Mattia, to Valerie, and to Sharika, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow evening. Thank you for your time today.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
那这一趴呢是中国运动员的专场，再一次欢迎大家来到白鹿体育场。我先非常快速的介绍一下台上的几位：冯彬，世界冠军女子铁饼，也是第4次来到厦门参赛；陈玉洁，今天冯彬有一个新的耳环，待会儿可以给我们展示一下。陈玉洁是我们100-200小孩姐在上一站的柯桥创了一个22秒84的好成绩。接下来吴艳妮，60米栏全国纪录保持者，也是连续8年的全国锦标赛冠军。石宇豪，最好成绩8米43的跳远名将。接下来龚德斌是咱厦门的土生土长的厦门体校涌现出的优秀选手，去年全运会的400米栏冠军。好，接下来呢，我想我先抛砖引玉，先问一个问题，然后等大家如果有问题可以随时举手，也随时打断我。那我就从冯彬开始吧，因为冯彬也是第4次来到厦门参加比赛。刚才也说了，其实连续4次都没有出去过这个比赛的这个环境哈。其实这一次也是很特别，因为之前在嘉兴比这63米多，可能很多人很关心。那么开局63到厦门第4次出战，会有什么样的一个准备和期待？
其实今天没有说是给自己定一个什么目标吧，因为去年比完全运会也是进行一个调整，然后也没有一个系统的训练，然后这场比赛就是顺其自然，大家比得开心，玩得也开心吧。
好，谢谢，我们有翻译。
Ms. Feng Bing, this is your first time to Xiamen Diamond League. How special is here to you? We know that you opened the season with 63 meters, which is a great result. And how are you going to prepare for tomorrow's race? What's your expectations? Well, I do not have any specific goal for tomorrow because right after last year's national games, I took some days off and haven't gone through some systematic trainings. For tomorrow's meet, I just want to let the flow go. I just want to have fun and enjoy.
好，谢谢冯彬。刚才也介绍了，冯彬有一个新的这个，每一次都有不同的造型，可以跟我们来一下说说今天这个造型是什么样的造型？
今天纯好看。
大家可以放大一下细节，因为每一次冯彬喜欢在自己的这个耳钉上做一些新意，迎合比赛的这种心情。
也是我们投掷，其实那个其他首饰也不能戴，所以只能说是戴个耳饰了。
好，谢谢，可以来一个特写。
I noticed that every time you go to a meet, you will wear earrings, and each tie are different ones. So I'm really wondering what this pair of earring means. What does it mean specifically? And her answer is, well, it's just purely gorgeous. I just love how beautiful it is. And we know that in our throwing events, it's not convenient to wear other accessories. So earring is my best choice.
好，谢谢冯彬。接下来这个问题，我们要问这位高1的学生，高2了。小孩姐今年到年底才18岁，上一次呢在柯桥跑了22秒84，距离女子200米的全国U20纪录已经是只有0.01秒的差距了，所以可能很多人都在关心，那这一站是否我们有一个成绩上的期待？
其实对于我来说，就是每一场比赛吧，还是能对这个成绩的要求先放宽一些，还是想着能在每一场比赛中跑出自己的这个技术和节奏。至于说什么记录不记录的，成绩不成绩的，其实还是顺其自然。
好的，其实厦门我们稍翻译一下。
Next, come to this junior high student who is about to turn 18 at the end of this year. Last week at the Keqiao, you ran 22.84, so close to the national record for the under-20s athletes. So what's your goal for tomorrow's meet? And her answer is, Well, no specific goal for tomorrow. I just want to have all my tools to be shown in tomorrow's race. I know that I have all the tools, I know I have all the rhythms, I know I have all the techniques. I just need to bring them out in tomorrow's meet. I just want to enjoy the race, not focus too much on the result.
好，其实厦门也算是小陈的福地，因为在去年的钻石联赛厦门站，陈玉洁是人生第一次打开23秒，22秒99。我刚才也介绍，他虽然还不到18岁，但是他今年现在的成绩已经没有办法再算 U18，也就是少年的记录了。所以就是现在我们从少年到青年的过程当中，可能很多人在关心你的一个未来的一个大的目标会是什么？
未来的目标吧，其实还是在打基础的过程中嘛，先把自己的这个基础给打实了，然后再避免伤病。之后，至于自己的成绩能达到怎么样的一个地步，就看之后到底能怎么样的造化了。
好，谢谢。
Xiamen must be a great place for you since it was here in Xiamen last year that you first make a sub-23 in your race. Right now, you are in this special stage of a U8 between the U18 to U20. So, what's your special goal during this moment? And her answer is, I think for now the most important thing is to lay my foundation strong. I just want to stay healthy, to keep away from injuries, to be injury free, and I will see how my future goes.
好，接下来问题给到燕妮。燕妮也是厦门也是老朋友了，我们也是多次在这个白鹿体育场见证到你的身影。其实我也是你的老朋友，我已经见证了你将近10年，在国内的这个舞台上，至少国内的舞台上，一直是处于一个非常领先的一个程度。其实就很想问的是，你平时有很多活动，但是如何能保证这样一个稳定的输出？
其实我觉得最重要的就是专注自己。对，因为我觉得无论是在训练场上，还是参加其他的活动，我都比较专注于当下我应该做的这件事情。对，一步一个脚印嘛。
As frequent visits here, you have been to Xiamen many times, and I know that you have been in this field for more than 10 years, during which you've always stayed on the top nationally. So I want to know that among all those activities, besides racing and others, how do you keep this consistency in your results in your race? And her answer is, I found that the most important thing for me is to focus on myself. Among all those activities, whether it's racing or some others, I just need to stay focused in the moment to do one thing at a time.
其实我们作为田径迷，我们要特别感谢燕妮，因为你的出现，让更多的就是路人也好，他们了解到女子是100米栏，而不是110米栏啊，了解到这个项目。那其实我们也在跟随你一起经历着这个波澜壮阔的一个田径的新时代。在这样的一种变换当中，你的心态是一个什么样的过程？
我觉得很平静，对，因为大家都知道我爱美，所以我想把我所有的一面都展现在比赛场上。我先说个课外话，那个冯明姐，你的那个耳饰我给你承包了。对，可以，我记住了。好的。但是呢，我觉得现在因为像斌哥你说的，因为我的原因，大家都关注到了中国田径，再加上我们女子100米栏。但我觉得其实说实话，所有的所有都归结到国家，因为国家给我这样的一个机会，所以说我能有这样一个机会展现给大家，对我来说是荣幸的。对，使命在肩，奋斗有我。
好，谢谢你，有请翻译。
We really want to say thank you to Yanni because it's because of her that this event has come to more people's knowledge. That it's because of her that people know that there's this women's 100 meters hurdles. So my question to her is, after you've been through all of this, what is your mentality right now? And her answer is, well, I always try to stay calm in front of everything. Everyone knows that I love to present the beautiful side of me. Like every time when I meet, I want to show what's the best of me. I want to show the most beautiful, the most radiant part of me. Oh, by the way, to Fenbing, I will have all your earrings from now on. All your earrings in the future, I will all buy them for you. And now go back to our topic of recording to the athletics. Well, to be honest, I really want to thank our country to give me this opportunity to show myself. I'm really grateful to our country to be the one who I am today. I just want to work hard and to bear my responsibility as the one to show this sports to the world.
好，谢谢。接下来我们来问一下小石头，我们从头开始。因为他发型变了，2月份我们见面的时候还是满头的小辫子啊，是这个像加勒比风格。这次有这样的一种发型，先给我们讲讲是什么样的一个契机让你改变了？
主要还是太热了吧，那个小辫子一直编着真的很热。然后我现在也体会到了，就是女性真的不容易，就像咱们女生留着长头发，那个洗头发，然后吹头发，日常的这个维护都不容易。对，这是一个比较。比较神奇的一个小小的经历吧，然后眼看也到夏天了，所以想换一个相对清爽一点的头发。
其实钻石联赛一直以来是你的一个非常重要的舞台，包括自己的 PB 也是PB 也是在钻石联赛上创造的。那么这一次再一次来到也是非常喜欢的厦门，你有一个什么样的准备和计划？
没有计划就是最好的计划，就是顺其自然嘛，跟冯明姐一样，就我觉得。所有事情都不要想得太满，就是我们出发那一天是中国的传统节气小满，就是小满生万全嘛，大家都是健康完赛，就玩得开心就好啊。
好的，谢谢小石头。然后最后我再抛砖引玉提的问题呢是，龚德斌，因为龚德斌呢是咱们厦门市体校涌现的一位选手，这次是第一次回家以国家队的以这个400米栏优秀的选手来参赛，这种心情是什么样的心情？回家了。
其实真的是回家来比赛，是真的感觉到熟悉跟激动吧，因为第一次能在厦门展现自己，在家乡也展现一下自己的成绩。
其实，在去年在全运会上一鸣惊人，然后当时我们说到龚德斌这个名字的时候，感觉很陌生，实际上已经征战了多年。这几年有一个脱胎换骨的变化，你觉得这几年的一个训练是一个什么样的过程？能给我们简单的分享一下吗？
其实从厦门出去开始吧。因为很小就待在厦门了，从厦门开始，教练就是本来是短跑的，到给我挑项目的时候挑到400栏了，再到省队，现在再到全运会和钻石联赛上，其实自己这一个训练都是很辛苦的，包括每个运动员都是这样子，一步一步的走上来的。
好，谢谢德斌，正好去年也是结在了我们厦门，期待早日当爸爸。好，我抛砖引玉的部分就到这里，大家有什么问题可以举手，我们来提问。Sorry.
Let me first start with Mr. Shi Yuhao. Well, you get a new haircut recently. Please tell us more about it. Well, before this, I had a little bit longer hair with the braids, but now as the weather getting even hotter, I just realized it's terrible. Because you have to spend a lot of time maintaining it, and it's really, really hot. And through this, I now get to understand ladies more, because now I realize how much time they have to spend on everything, on their hair, on their appearance. That's really amazing. Now, talking about this Diamond League, I know that I had my personal best in the Diamond League meet, so it means a lot to me. Coming to this meet, I actually don't have any specific goals like other athletes, because I believe that no plan is the best plan. We just don't need to think too much. Just try to stay in the moment, stay as an empty bottle mindset. That's what I believe will bring us to a better place. And with Mr. Gong Debin, we know that you are the national champion for 400 meters. And you really was born here and raised up right here in Xiamen. How do you feel about coming back home? Well, and his answer is, that's of course so exciting to come back here. I just want to show my best in front of the home crowd. last year I won the national champions. Actually, before that, I've been in this field for quite a long time. When I was in Xiamen, when I first started my athletic trainings, I was doing the sprinting event, but later I changed to the 400s. Through all this way, it's never been tough. It's never been easy, of course. Like to every athlete, I know that it's always a tough path, but I know that everyone is trying their best. And this year I got married, and now I settled in Xiamen, which is a great place for me. I'm really happy here.
好，现在有请现场的朋友们提问。
Okay, any questions from the floor?
我这边是那个专注女性体育的翻滚坚果自媒体。然后第一个问题想提问一下冯彬，就是因为您之前提到过很多次，就是你的目标是70米嘛，那么就是随着年龄的增长，还有就是您自己技术的精进，想问一下，就是您现在觉得您跟他之间的距离是怎么样的？
刚才在外面开玩笑，还在说这个问题。一直在向这个目标努力吧。我觉得年龄不是一个束缚，它像我们随着年龄的增长，我们的阅历、我们的经验都有所提高，所以我感觉70米对于我来说是一个可以去完成，但是它只是时间的问题。
好，谢谢。
This question goes to Ms. Fen Bing. You mentioned before that your goal is 70 meters. And now, as you grow a little bit older, and as your techniques has grown better, how do you feel about this goal nowadays? And her answer is, well, I actually have never given up on this goal, on this dream. And I think age is never a limitation. To be honest, in fact, as you grow older, you become more experienced and you become more wise. That's why I think 70 meters is something that I can definitely achieve in the future. It's just a matter of time.
好，谢谢。我们再继续提问。
燕妮，主持人你好，我厦门日报的，然后想问一下吴燕妮女士，好。因为大家也都知道，你也来过厦门很多次了，然后这一次来厦门也你这次来厦门感觉说厦门的不论气候啊，包括这个场馆啊，有没有给你一些新的一些感受？这是一个问题。对，
我感觉跟回家了一样，对。但是呢，这次其实确实厦门和成都的天气相比的话，比较的更加的湿热，我一下飞机我就感觉进了一个炉子一样，对，就全身黏黏的。但是我很期待明天的比赛，因为我觉得天气湿热，其实对运动员来说也算是一件比较好的事情，因为在你做准备活动当中会更加的放松一下肌肉，不会那么的紧绷，就让大家不用那么容易受伤，对。
好，谢谢。
My question goes to Wu Yanni. We have been to Xiamen quite a few times. How do you like the climate here? How do you like the stadium? And her answer is, well, Xiamen feels like home to me. But of course, the climate here, I have to say, it is more humid than where I was born and where I am living. I remember when I just arrived here the other day, I can totally feel the humidity when I just walk off the airplane. I just feel sweaty right away. But somehow I feel this humidity is a good thing for our athletes because it will help your muscles get relaxed more easily so that you don't get hurt easily during the races.
好，谢谢。我们再继续请大家提问。
More questions?
好，再次有请。
这次想问一下陈玉洁，就是因为您上一周在柯桥也是取得了 PB， 然后想问一下，是不是在这种国际的舞台上，您会更加的兴奋，就是更能激发出你更好的状态呢？
其实因为我们可能 对于女子短跑来说，在世界上其实排名并没有那么的靠前。其实我们还是得向世界上很多的一些国际选手去学习。来到这种钻石联赛的国际性大舞台上面，我们可以见到更多比我们更强的对手，然后可以在他们的带动之下，更加提升我们自己的成绩。
就是因为您第一次就是参加钻石联赛也是在厦门嘛，想问一下，您觉得您这一年来最大的变化是什么？
其实这一年来对我来说最大的变化，其实还是一种心态上的变化吧。其实第一次去年来厦门比钻石联赛的时候，跟玉婷姐一起嘛，其实我都是全程就是很紧张，就因为第一次比钻石联赛，可能就觉得怕在国际上给我们自己国家呀，包括给我们的这个自己，就是感觉怕跑不好，怕丢脸什么的。然后至于现在的话，其实还是很放松的吧。
好，谢谢。
My question goes to Ms. Cheng Yujie. You had a PB in Keqiao last week. Can I ask, do you feel more exciting in those international stage? And her answer is, well, I think when I compete on this international stage, I feel I can learn from those top athletes, especially for this Diamond League. During these meets, I can always meet those really powerful, really strong athletes, which will help me to improve my results. And her second question is, you were here in Xiamen for the first time for Diamond League, and what do you think is the biggest change for the past year? Well, I would say that my mindset is the place where I had the biggest chance, because I remember when I was here the first time in Xiamen, I was so nervous because that was the very first time for a Diamond League. I'm afraid that I may lose. I'm afraid that I may not have to compete the best of myself. That's why I was really nervous last year. But today, I feel I'm more relaxed for tomorrow's meet.
好，谢谢。我们还有5分钟，还有谁有问题？
Last 5 minutes.
这样吧，我们请各位介绍一下他们的教练吧，因为可能我们在写稿的时候会遇到说自己教练的问题，然后我们就请台上的几位分别介绍一下他们的教练是谁，好不好？那就从德斌开始吧，不然。
Let's ask our athletes to introduce their coaches to us.
因为我从厦门出去嘛，厦门是第一个主教练是高炳耀，因为现在还是在厦门市的体校任职。我到福州之后的话是李斌，现在也还是在福州，明天会来到赛场。
李斌指导还有葛曼棋，所以他们俩是师兄妹吧，算是。
是。
还有林雨薇啊。 好的，谢谢德斌。接下来小石。
稍等一下，您在厦门的是高什么？不好意思。
高炳耀，高炳耀。
Okay. When I started my athletic career in Xiamen, the name of my first coach is Gao Bingyao. And when I go to Fuzhou, I start to train with Mr. Li Bing.
对，有请小石。
其实一开始我是跟着我南京省队的教练朱华刚在训练，但是，由于去年全运会的一些问题，然后就是面临了一个更换教练，然后现在我换成了我的启蒙教练，同样也是女子跳远全运会冠军的教练，然后张震，来共同指导我和我师妹，还有一个3级跳的师妹。
I actually have been training with Mr. Zhu Haogang for quite a long time. Last year, after the national games, I started to do some changes in my training, which including my coach, and I switched to my first coach, whose name is Zhang Zhen.
震动的震，地震的震。好，有请闫妮。
我的主教练是杨辉，现于北京体育大学的老师。对。
对，一直以来都是你们2个哈。
对，是的。
I've always trained under Mr. Yang Hui, who teaches at the Beijing Sports University.
好，谢谢小陈，来。
谢谢小陈。
教练给我们介绍一下吧，因为您的教练一直是跟着从体校一直到现在。
对，其实大家都知道，其实我现在因为我的进入这个练习田径的年份也没多少嘛，从我开始练田径到现在为止，我的教练一直都是宁波体校的吴亚存吴指导，对他其实是我的启蒙教练，一直把我一手带大到这个现在这个年纪。其实怎么说呢，就是他。虽然说年纪也是老教练的年纪了嘛，但是他其实心态特别的年轻，特别可爱。
Well, I have been in this field for not many long years, but I have been trained under Mr. Wu Yachun, who lives in Ningbo. Well, actually, he's not that young anymore, but still, he has a very young mindset.
我教练。我从业18年，然后我跟他练了18年，然后一直都是李维斌教练，我们俩一直从烟台体校，然后到山东省，然后到国家队，然后我们俩一直配合到现在吧，然后目前配合的依旧很好。
Well, being in this field for 18 years, I have been trained under Mr. Li Weibing for 18 years. We start our journey from Yantai, move over to Shandong province, and later to the Team China. And we've always have a great time together.
好的，谢谢李维斌。那个维是维护的维，宾是宾朋宾客的宾，所以这些名字大家都知道了。好，还有问题吗？我们可以再问一个问题。
Maybe one more last questions.
再次有请。
这个问题想问一下吴艳妮，就是这次比赛是全运会之后，你又一次跟刘景阳同台比赛嘛？想问一下，这场比赛对你来说会不会意味着更多的东西？
没有啊，我觉得这是第一次中国选手同场竞技女子100米栏，我很期待。
好的，谢谢我们所有的提问，也是谢谢我们所有的运动员。接下来我们来一张大合影吧，好不好？谢谢。好，谢谢我们所有的朋友们，再一次掌声送给他们，谢谢。